Wood, arguably one of the most important resources in Minecraft, if not the most important. After all, our first instinct upon entering a new world is to seek out the nearest tree and start punching it with our bare fist. Hello there, my name is OccultGent and welcome to another video. Today we will be taking a look at a tree farm as well as doing a build tutorial for it later. This farm is made to be simple and cheap as something that you can build once you have some slime balls laying around. It can handle 3 tree types, which are spruce, birch and oak. The rates for each tree types are as shown on screen. If you just need some logs and do not care about which type it is, then spruce will be your best bet. This is an example of what a storage for this farm might look like. But you are free to use whatever storage you want to, just make sure that it is at least triple hopper speed to keep up with the rates of spruce and birch. To break the logs, a TNT duper is used. This duper design is by Mercury and it is very cheap and very simple, making it the perfect design for this farm. In order to keep things small and simple, the TNT is dropped right next to a wall of water that acts as a shield for the farm. This isn't something that I came up with. I first saw this concept used in a farm by Plexi, which I thought was just genius. Most tree farms will use hoppers to collect the samplings, which is understandable. However, because this is a fairly small farm, we can just use a couple of water streams instead. This not only reduces the cost of the farm, but it makes it a lot easier to build as well. The farm as it is will work in 1.15 and above. With that said, it does work in 1.14 but only with oak and birch. In 1.15, spruce requires an area of 5x5 cleared of any blocks, with the only exceptions being logs and leaves. However, in 1.14 and below, spruce is a lot more strict. By having logs in this area, we are blocking tree growth. As for the bone meal consumption, we can find that by simply dividing the total bone meal use by the number of hours. So if we enter this value that I got from my test, we will get an average of 14,690 bone meal use every hour. But how exactly did I get those numbers? Well, this is the setup that I use. I have a double chest with half a stack of bone meal inside of it, and reading from it is a comparator pointing into a torch. Whenever the chest runs out of bone meal, this command block will clone another one in its place. And the command block below that will add a score of 32 to total. To the right is a repeat command block that has been set to needs redstone, and what this does is add a score of 1 to tick every game tick that it is active. The moment that the first tree grows, this redstone line will turn on, powering this command block, which will place a redstone block next to the repeat one in order to start the tick counter. This chain command block isn't necessary, all it does is replace itself and the command block above with air. This might not be the best or most precise method for getting the bone meal consumption, but it works for me. If we come to this side of the farm, we will find a double chest, which is the bone meal storage. This could be expanded if you ever need more storage for bone meal, and here are some ways in which you could do that. Right by the bone meal storage is a lever. This is what you will use to turn the farm on and off. With the farm turned on, we can move to the other side and enter the farm through this door. Once we are inside, nudge yourself into this corner and aim at the dirt. After that, just hold down right click and press F3 plus T. Or if you have the carpet mod installed, you may type in /player, player name, use continuous. The farm as it is right now will only work with spruce and birch. In order to use the farm with oak, you will have to come up here and place a block right there. This block could be anything that isn't a log or a leaf block. After that, you can come back down and start planting. Once you are done using the farm with oak, remember to break the block or else you will limit the height of other trees as well. If you want to check the farm out, you can find a world download for both the 1.14 and 1.15 plus version in the description. And now let's get building. Here are the materials that you need. You can switch out any of the blocks for other blocks of the same property if you so wish. Just like my previous tutorial, this one will be done in creative. I should also add that we will not be building a storage in this tutorial. You are free to use any storage of your choice. If you want to use the example storage that I showed earlier in the video, you can find that in the world download. We will be starting from this third block. So go to one of its side and then place a temporary block like this, a piston facing into the dirt, and then on top of this normal piston place 7 log blocks, and 7, and then place another temporary block behind the normal piston and a sticky piston facing into the long block. Now place 2 more temporary blocks and 2 sticky pistons like so, and just build this up 5 more times, so 3, 4, and 5. Then come over to one of the sides and place 2 temporary blocks like this, a long block, a temporary block, a long block, another temporary block, and a long block. Moving on to the leaf crusher, from this dirt block, bridge out by 4 blocks like this and place a sticky piston on top. And then to each of the sticky piston side, place 2 more sticky pistons and build this up 5 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then just put long blocks in front of each of these pistons. Next, you want to copy this over to the other side, except the only difference it being that whenever there is an air block right there, you would add a sticky piston and a lock. If there is a lock, you don't add any, so sticky piston and lock here, and 2 more sticky pistons and lock down there. So this is what it should look like. For the BONEMEAL system, you want to come below this dirt and bridge out by 4 blocks like this, and then place 2 droppers and a third one facing upwards. Place a dispenser on top of this dropper, and then come back here and place 2 hoppers pointing into this dropper and a third one pointing into any of the 2 hoppers. After that, put a double chest on top of these 2 hoppers and a node block on top of this dropper. Place a observer pointing into this node block. Place a temporary block right there, an observer facing downwards, another one facing into the temporary block, and another one right here. Then you want to place a sticky piston pointing into this observer. Next up, on the other side of the dirt, place a non-solid block, a redstone dust on top, a solid block right there, and then power the solid block with a lever. And then below this dirt, place a normal piston, a non-solid block, and a solid block. And then place 3 temporary blocks and a normal piston facing into the solid block. Below this block, place 2 other blocks. And then place a redstone dust right there and a redstone torch on the other side. Now come over to this side and place 2 blocks to the side of this redstone torch. And then place a temporary block right there, 2 other blocks, place 2 blocks right there, a block there, a temporary block, 2 blocks right there, and then another temporary block on top of this one. Place a slab or any non-solid block, a glass block, non-solid block, glass block, non-solid block, and a glass block. And then you just want to run a line of redstone dust on top of all of these blocks. Except for this one you want to place a repeater and set it to 2 ticks. Now on the other side, you want to place a block next to this redstone dust, a temporary block, 2 blocks like this, a temporary block and a block on top, and then you want to place another temporary block right there, and 2 non-solid blocks like this. After that, you want to build the staircase of non-solid blocks as shown here. And then just add redstone dust on top of all of these blocks. Behind the leaf crusher, you want to place a row of blocks like this, another one back here, and another one down here as well. And then you want to build this staircase of non-solid blocks like this. And after that, just run a line of redstone dust on top of all the blocks. You want to do the same thing to the other side as well, except This non-solid block will have to be replaced with a solid block instead. And then just place 2 blocks like this, a redstone dust right there and a repeater pointing into this solid block. Now come over here and place a block next to this redstone dust. If I could click on it, and then place a sticky piston facing upwards with a block on top, a block right there, temporary block, and another block right here. And then you want to place a redstone dust on this block and a repeater set to 2 ticks on this one, and another dust on top of this. To check if you have built everything correctly, you can come down to this piston and place a lever or a button to the side of it and push it. All of the pistons should power. Come to the side that the bone meal system is on and place a glass block right there along with 2 blocks right here. Then place 4 blocks, a non-solid block, and 2 more blocks like this. Now come over to this side and place a temporary block below this non-solid block. Build a 3x3 platform like so, and then place another block right there. Now next to this glass block, place a chest. Place 2 glass blocks like this. Next to this redstone dust, place a stair so that it's facing into this slab, and then place 2 blocks like so. Next to this chest, place 3 blocks and a door for the entrance. And then we will build a wall to keep the water in, so just follow me. You also want to place some blocks down here and some blocks to the side as well. And then we will build this up, these 4 blocks. Do not place any blocks right here. So just build this up. And 1 more. And then place some logs block on top of these log blocks. And to the other side, we will build this up as well. And once again, do not place any blocks right there. And blocks, block. And this is what it should look like. And now come over to this side and build this up as well. And that should be the wall. Back inside of the farm, you want to place 4 buttons on this side and 4 buttons on that side. The bottom button should be aligned with the logs right here. Also, there should not be a block right there. There should only be 2. I messed up in the tutorial earlier. Before we place the water in, you want to come to the side with the chest and place a sign to the side of this normal piston. And then waterlock this there. Place a water right there and another one in this corner. And they should all flow towards the chest where the player would stand. Now for the collection system, come over to the side with the bone meal chest and place a block right there. Place a temporary block below that and add a block to the side. Now add 7 more blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then build up to the other end, like this, and just fill this in. After that, just build a wall around this. And on the other side as well. Place a temporary block right there, and place 2 blocks right here. Then place a temporary block and a block, and just build a row of block, like so. Place another temporary block and build a row, like this. And now you can add in the water right there. It should flow up until this edge, and then place water on this end as well. And it should also flow up until the edge. Now from here you could send this into whatever storage you wish to use for the farm. Now let's build the water shield for the farm. So for that, come up here and then place a downward stair facing away from the opening. Place another stair right by this one, but have it face into the wall instead. Do the same thing for the other side. and then waterlock all 4 stairs. After that, just place blocks on top and place 6 more right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then come down here and place 3 temporary blocks. Get rid of the middle one and place a water source right there. Now pick the water source back up and break the temporary blocks. Place a block next to this piston with a redstone dust on top, a solid block next to the dust, a torch on this side and a lever on the other side. Place a solid block on top of the torch with another torch, and then build 6 more of these. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then come to this side and build 2 blocks with 2 redstone dust on top. Place a temporary block right there. 3 blocks, temporary block, 2 blocks, temporary blocks, 2 blocks, and temporary blocks with 2 more blocks like this. And then just come over to this corner, place a comparator, repeater on 4 ticks, 4 ticks, 4 ticks, and a repeater on 2 ticks. Place a redstone dust on top of the block with a piston next to the block, a sand or any gravity block on top of the piston, a block right here, and a repeater facing away from the gravity block. Last but not least, let's build the TNT duper. So for that, place a piston next to this repeater, an observer facing away from this dust, a TNT right by it, 3 temporary blocks, and a piston facing into the TNT. Now place a block right there, a temporary block right here, 2 blocks, place a block right there, and then build 2 blocks, a slab, and another block right here. And just add redstone dust right here and there. Do not add any redstone dust on top of this block. Now just add a solid block on top of this redstone dust to separate them. To finish the farm off, add a wall right here, and then add 2 blocks right there, a block here, 2 blocks right here, a block there, and a chest. After that, just add a sign next to this block and a water source flowing from there. And now you should be done with the farm. I do apologize for the not so great audio during the tutorial. Normally I would record my voice over on my phone, which isn't great, but it's alright. Then I'll record the game according to what I am saying and overlay that over the audio. For the tutorial, however, because it's quite a tedious process having to write a script for all of the steps, recording the voiceover, recording the game, and then syncing everything up, I decided to just simply record the voiceover as I was building, which is a lot easier. The downside to doing this is, of course, the awful audio quality, because I was using my earphones mic. Again, I am so sorry for the awful quality. With that said, this is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. This is OccultGent signing out.